Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Good afternoon, ma'am. So we have about 16 participants are joining, as I can see.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so like last time, all the participants, I request all the students to raise their hand so that we can identify the students. Let's get quickly settled. All these student individuals or in the room, please raise your hand. We'll give it another 2 minutes. Okay, I'm seeing only one hand. That is KTC Hubli. What about the others? Can I request the organizing team to check
Yes,
if
yes, sir. L2,
Please.
whoever joined, no, please ask your students to raise their hands. They'll be aware of their students' names. No? Afrin, Anupama, Shweta, please ask your students to raise their hands.
Okay, ma'am.
Vaishali Computers, Sunita.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, kindly ask your students to raise their hands. No, many of them have joined.
Yes, ma'am. Our students raised, ma'am.
Who is Chaitra VVS? Usma, Prakash.
Profit is very fair.
Vaishali Computer.
All right. Are we expecting any more? Just about 4 hands. We just have about 4 hands. Are we expecting any more?
Sir, many of them have
Right.
joined, but they didn't put their, they didn't
Yeah,
raise their hands.
which means
Hello.
either they're not able to hear me or
Hello.
there's some communication issue. So we'll wait for
Hello.
another minute. Kindly raise your hands
Hello.
because if you can't even understand
ఇంకొకటి తెలుసా ప్రతిపక్ష ఆడ 50,000 పెట్టి
Okay, as far as I can recall, Uzma, Vaishali Computers, all these others are also Chandrakant. Someone has joined Chandrakant. Okay, no. So these are also students. So kindly raise your hands. Is that so difficult to understand? Just so that we can identify all the students. So anyway, while this is happening in the background, there seem to be a little less number of participants. Who will recap? Who will recap? Who will do a quick recap? Some of the students who will do a quick recap. Whoever wants to recap what we did in the last session, can you, they can unmute themselves and start speaking. Who will do a recap? Yeah, go ahead.
Sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Previous session we learned like whenever we launch the application, before we think for the customer as a customer, this you by the use of feedback, we will implementing the website. Sir.
Sorry, come again.
Sir, whenever we launch the website to the customer, before only we will think like a customer. By the use of feedback, we will implementing the application and launch to the customer.
Okay. But is that all? So what is we did such a huge session last time and we had so many discussions. What were the other points we discussed? Your colleagues are not there. Your other fellow students are not there today.
Yes, sir. There are some people who have exams, sir.
Okay. Okay. So,
Chandrakant sir is online.
okay. So who else will recap?
I will recap, sir.
Go ahead.
So last session started with recap of learning of previous last 3 sessions. Like it was.
Yeah, so I basically want the topics. I don't want to know the chronology of what happened. I want to know what were the key learnings from previous session or up until now. Okay.
The key learnings, it was like about AI, sir, like artificial intelligence, how it can solve the problems in different spheres of human life. So students were stressed to understand the AI in different aspects. Like in case of Vinayak, he came up with that through AI, he can help the farmers to get good price for his crops. Otherwise, which is lost to middlemen. So that's one application he found useful of the AI in real life. And like in a cloth shop also, our groups, they experimented with AI in solving the problems of cloth shops.
Okay.
So finally ended with each student having in his own understanding of the AI concepts.
Okay.
So this was about last session, sir.
Okay. Who else? Thank you, Chandrakant. Who else? Please introduce yourself and quickly share some key learnings from the previous session. Those who are not part of this discussion, can you mute yourself? Others, can you go on mute? Only those who are doing a recap or recap of some learnings, kindly unmute yourself and speak.
Sir, myself, Mithun, talking here. I just want to make a quick recap. In the previous session, at first we started our learning with AI. and we saw our daily life examples, which are in which AI is used in many apps like Hotstar, Netflix, and YouTube also.
Okay.
And then you gave us an activity to point out some main features for our website so that our sales can increase.
Mhm.
Using this, we came to learn that there are many technologies which we can use for improving sales in our own website. At last, you gave us an assignment that using chatbot in various industries.
So can you tell me one or two industries where AI is used? Can you just do a quick recap of how you've saw the use of AI or other technologies in the common day activities?
Sir, it was an assignment, sir, so we should present this today.
I know. Yeah. So today, okay, that is the next thing that I'm coming to, who all are ready with the presentation. But from the last session, can you give me one example which we took and understood something like he explained about the shop thing? Any other specific case, even within the retail space or any space, one specific example of some technology being used and how it is advantageous from previous session?
Can I say?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we discussed about Netflix. So Netflix, how it recommends movie watchers. So if he watches one movie based on his preferences, it will keep on suggesting him. You watch this movie also, it matches your interests. And then in Zomato, based on his ordering, it suggests him in different times of the day based on his tastes and preferences. So like that, sir. And in Lenskart, Lenskart is an application where it takes the photo of the client and then it gives a online trial room wherein different spectacles he can try in the mobile itself.
Okay.
Based on his looks, he can order a product.
Okay. Okay, good. Who else? Okay, all right. So let's get started. So some recap. I hope the others who haven't spoken are at least able to understand what was discussed just now, what was recapped, and what these other students just mentioned. All right. So let's get going with today's session. So today's session, first is I want to understand how many of you are ready with your presentations. All those who are ready with their presentations, let's do this. Let's get a reaction. Yeah, can you drop a comment in the chat box saying ready, your name and whether you're ready or not. Yeah, your name and whether you're ready or not. Okay. So Mithun K is ready. Who else is ready with the presentation? Who else is ready with the presentation? Chandrakant is ready. Kyanik Kubli is ready to present, sir. Vinayak and Chandrakant. Okay, Vinayak and Chandrakant are ready. So 3 participants are ready. Okay, so Uzma is also ready. Good, very good. Okay. Okay. Can you share your topics also? Do you have a topic for your presentation or it's covering a lot of things? If it is covering one specific topic, you have created a theme for your presentation, you can mention that in the chat box. Otherwise, you can say it's a presentation, general presentation. Chat GPT in healthcare. Okay. Who else? Vaishali computers is ready. Okay. I'm seeing the chat box. I want the topic. One industry I had asked you to pick up, right? So which industry have you picked up? What is it that you're presenting? Education. Okay. Healthcare, education industry. What else? Banking. Okay. Okay. So let's get started. Let's start with first come who started responding first. Mithun. Okay, Mithun, can you go ahead and share your screen? And how much time do you think you will need? So each one of you, those who have presented their, who have mentioned that in the chat box, tell me how much time do you think you need to present your slides? According to your thing, just tell me how much time you need to present your slides or give your presentation. How long do you need to present? The time. I'm asking you what is presentation moves along with the FT rates across years in AI? 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. More or less 10 minutes. Uzma, KTC Hubli. I want the name, not just the KTC Hubli is a lot of people, right? Who's presenting? And how many minutes? Okay. Vinayak is 10 minutes. Okay. Who else? Anybody wants more than 10 minutes? Chandrakant wants 15 minutes maximum. Okay. Okay, so let's start with Mithun. Mithun, so you're saying you want some 3 to 5 minutes. You can take 5 minutes and start your presentation. All right. So you're not presenting only to me. So keep this in mind. Okay. This presentation is not just for, it's not like a class assignment you have to prepare and present, it's your understanding of this technology and your explanation to all of us. You have to explain to all of us. You are the teacher here. Okay, you are the professor. You are the. We are seeking guidance from you, so you have to assume that role and start presenting. Okay, don't keep looking for approval. Don't keep asking, is it okay and all of this. So you have to present as if we are learning from you or we need to understand from you. And you have to present to everybody, not just me. So even I'm going to go, I'll put off my, because all of you have not switched on your cameras. I will also have my name or whatever picture there so that you don't focus only on me, right? You have to focus on everybody, the presenter. All right. Okay. Your time starts now. Mithun, you can start. Go ahead.
Sir, I need.
Okay, so someone has to give him, Mithun, maybe I think I can give you. How do you allow him to share the screen? Can the organizing team allow Mithun to share his screen? The organizing team, can I request you to provide rights, the facility for participants to share their screen?
It's already given, sir.
Okay, Mithun, can you do that? Can you check what is the challenge you're facing?
Sir, it is coming like a host has disabled participant screen sharing.
Mithun, can you please check, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is. Now I can present.
No.
Is the screen visible?
Yes, it's visible. Whenever he's asking questions, all the participants, I expect you to respond to him. He's not only asking me, okay? So all of you have to listen to him and all the presenters, okay? So you have to respond if he's so you have to ask them to either type in the chat box or, you have to give them specific instructions. The presenter, okay? Mithun in this case. Yeah, go ahead, Mithun. We can see your screen.
Hello, everyone. Today, I am going to talk about ChatGPT in healthcare. In common knowledge, what do you know about ChatGPT? We just know that ChatGPT is a space where we can ask the AI questions and it can answer the questions. But did you know whether it can be used in various industries? Let's explore it. Today, I am showing how ChatGPT can be used in healthcare. ChatGPT in healthcare can be used in many ways. Some of those are, first, patient triage. Any patient who has any disease can come to the doctor or can ask the ChatGPT about his or her disease and can get a patient triage. The patient triage means whether a patient is to be treated emergency or whether he can be treated later, or it is very urgent to treat the patient. More or less, this is like a prioritizing a patient in the eyes of a doctor. Next, mental health support. Chatbot can ask a series of questions to the patient and patient can answer those. By this, patient patient can know his mental ability or his mental status. Also, ChatGPT can help can help in this situation, and doctors also will also know the patient's mind status. Next, clinical documentation. If suppose any patient has to be treated and he has been treated already, but doctor has to take any notes or give any details about his or her situation. So here doctor can dictate his or her notes and ChatGPT can take down the notes and store it in a safe place so that the patient can access it later and use it for further medications.
So,
Next.
Mithun, sorry to interrupt you. Why have you switched off your camera? You should keep your video on. No? We should be able to see you when you're presenting.
So
Yeah.
next is symptom checker. For various diseases, we have various symptoms. Also, every doctor cannot know all the diseases and all the symptoms. So you can input your symptoms to the chatbot or ChatGPT, which helps in deciding what disease are you facing with. When you know what disease are you facing with, then you can surely consult a doctor whom you trust, and hence the chance of curing the disease is more easy to you. Next, clinical decision support. ChatGPT can help providers determine the most appropriate diagnostic test or treatment for a patient's condition. When doctors see the patient's condition through the ChatGPT, they will know what treatments to be given or what tests to be done. At next, it is very useful in medical researchers. People who are working in medical institutions can use ChatGPT for acquiring various information and see whether the information gained is a new or it is existing information. Also, they can research new things using this. Thank you. If any doubts are, anybody can seek me. If any doubts regarding this presentation, anybody can ask.
All right. So who's going to ask him questions? Who is going to ask him questions?
Sir, I'm asking questions.
Yeah. So it's between you and him now. You can, let's see what interaction you're going to have. Okay. So Mithun and the rest of you, you're free to ask him questions. All the students have to raise their hands, and questions can only be from students. Chandrakant, you have not raised your hand. Only those who have, wherever I see a raised hand, only they can ask questions. Okay. They can interact with Mithun. What did you understand? If you don't ask questions, I will assume you understood everything. Now I'm going to ask you questions, not Mithun, but the others. Okay.
So can I ask questions, sir?
Go ahead. You have to just interact with Mithun. Don't ask me.
Sir, whenever we giving the information about the symptoms, how ChatGPT works?
So ChatGPT basically gains the information in
Mithun, 1 second. Sorry to disturb you. I'll also add my question to Vinayak, so you can answer both the questions together. Adding to his question, how this your presentation, ChatGPT, it more of sounds like a chatbot. So how you make the differentiation between a chatbot in terms of health sector or a chat GPT in health sector? So this is my question. You can answer both of our questions together. Okay, please.
At first, I will take Vinayak's question. The ChatGPT basically sees the information put into it by the doctors or the medical team, and it can access the symptoms provided by the patients, and it can assure that the patient has the following diseases.
So Mithun, his question is, Chandrakant is trying to understand what is ChatGPT and what is chatbot. What is the difference?
Sir, I was answering Vinayak's question, sir.
Okay, fine, fair enough. But yeah, maybe first you can answer what do you understand by ChatGPT? What is ChatGPT?
ChatGPT in basic language, we see whether something asking a question and receiving an answer something from a software. But in the reality, it is used in many softwares. In other words, it is used in many industries. Whereas chatbot is a software used in ChatGPT, so that
so ChatGPT is a generative AI, right? I mean, you're using artificial intelligence to generate content. Basically, that's what you are saying. ChatGPT is a form of in simple terms, what is it? It is generative AI, which means it is using artificial intelligence technology to generate content. Content is written content, some textual content. It's answering some questions. If you are asking some question, it is able to answer those questions, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that what your understanding is? I'm asking you. Okay. So why is it so useful? Forget about healthcare. We'll come to healthcare. I'm asking you a question. Why is it so useful? Why is producing content so useful? What is what
in the contemporary world, many people have need, and they cannot seek everyone every expert as they need and require. So they can
sorry.
In contemporary world, every people have different mindset, and they can get different questions. So they cannot have their expertise to answer those questions, and they cannot seek everyone to answer their questions only. So they can use ChatGPT to get answers to their questions in different terms, like in different industries.
So how does ChatGPT do this? How do you think it does? How is it? So that is very interesting. How do you think it is able to answer all questions? It is like a Aladdin's lamp, no? You know Aladdin's lamp, right?
Yes, sir.
So you rub it 3 times, then Aladdin will come, and then you'll ask and it'll give you whatever. I mean, the genie will give you whatever you want. So this looks like another genie which is going to answer whatever you ask. It is going to answer you, right?
Yes,
so how is it happening? What is the reason why? What's your understanding?
So it may be because of data fed into it by the creators.
So what does it do with the data? Can you explain to me in a very simple way?
So when we ask any question, it processes the keywords and answers us and gives us in a generative text form.
Okay. So how will it answer? So you can ask any question. So let us say you ask some question, okay, about a certain topic. So can you explain something about artificial intelligence? Let's say you ask this question. So it will answer this question. It will provide some answers to this. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how is it able to do it? Or if you ask, how do I assemble, let's say, a table, or how do I bake a cake? If you ask the question, how do I bake a cake? Is it going to answer that question?
Sir, if it has the information, it may answer, but if it does not have any information, it shows that I cannot answer this question because there is no enough data.
Okay. So in medical field, okay, coming to your medical field, how is this useful? You told us, you showed so many use cases and all that. How is it useful in the medical industry? How is it useful? Healthcare industry.
Sir, nowadays, as population increases, there may be many medical issues, and every doctor is very busy, and he cannot give personal attention to patients. In this case, ChatGPT helps the doctors so that it can classify patients into different categories, and it can specify some doctors that they can consult.
Okay. So
which reduces the burden
you
of
mean to
doctors.
say I don't need doctors any longer. I can get everything done through ChatGPT. So someone is having some major issue, they can just go to ChatGPT and ask, and then that will provide some answers, and you don't need doctors anymore, right?
No, sir. No, I'm not saying that we don't need any doctors. We need doctors, but for basic information, we need ChatGPT, and doctors when they give basic information, for many people, it may be a waste of time for them.
Okay. For the doctor or for the patient?
For the doctor, it may be a waste of time.
Okay. What do you mean basic information? What can be that basic information?
Whether converting what symptoms into the specific disease, or whether conveying them to specify any doctors so that they can consult them.
Okay, so you're saying even identification of symptoms, you can check the symptoms and prescribe to the relevant doctor through ChatGPT. That much it can help you, isn't it? But after that, it can prescribe medicines also, right?
Sir, but the technology is not so forward that it can prescribe appropriate medicines.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. So you can go ahead and ask. I'm done with my questions. The other Vinayak's question you can start answering, and the other question also you can answer. Go ahead. Vinayak, if I've interrupted, sorry, you can ask your question once again.
Sir, I will repeat the question, sir. Sir, can I repeat the question, sir?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead and repeat your question.
Like whenever we giving the symptoms about the symptoms to the ChatGPT, how ChatGPT works? Yeah.
It sees the symptoms to the data fed into it, and it takes the keywords and prescribes you the following diseases. You may have following diseases. And from that, you can know which doctor you have to consult.
I'm asking how ChatGPT works.
It works on the data fed to it by others.
That he already explained, right, Vinayak, how ChatGPT works. He's explained in a very simple way. What did you understand from this discussion, Vinayak? How does it work?
We are already getting that. Give the answer.
Your voice is echoing. I can't hear you very clearly, but maybe, yeah. So it has already got some data which is there, and it is going to analyze the data based on the question. It is going to compare and provide the answer, right? If it is, so depending on the situation, it's going to, so that's what he was explaining, the different use cases where it can be used in the medical field, right, Mithun? Can you quickly tell those 3-4 things that you explained in medical field? What are those things that it can do? One is you're saying these basic things like identifying, categorizing the patient, then giving them appointments or showing them the right doctors based on the category of questions they've asked and all of that. What are the other applications of this in the industry, in the medical industry?
So first, patient triage. Patient can be classified into an emergency ward or which can be consulted later ward. In other words, very serious or not very serious. Also, it can help in help doctors to seek medical research.
What do you mean by that?
They can indulge themselves in medical research, And whenever they acquire new information, they can see whether the information is already acquired or whether it is new for the world. And
So
if
first
they need
use
any,
case was, so the first use case you're saying, you can actually have some virtual assistants in the medical field. So you can fix appointments, maybe some basic treatment also, and maybe get their health information. All that can be done through ChatGPT. The next one you're saying, what is the second thing that you're saying?
some medical research.
Medical research. So how does it help in medical research? It can help in some kind of decision making, clinical decision support, and all of that, right? You can actually go to ask for, if you are having a hypothesis, you can ask for some more samples, cases, and all of that to substantiate your research, and it can help you with more data and answers to support your research, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what else?
Sir, in next, we have clinical decision support, which any diagnosis can see the symptoms of the patient by looking into the ChatGPT's information, and he or she can, or the ChatGPT prescribes the following diagnosis test. So that the patient, it will be easy to patient to decide what test he or she should be having to cure the disease.
Okay, yeah, so that is clinical decision support. I was talking about that decision making and research also, but yeah, you can use this in this kind of a space also. So fundamentally, what is happening? So fundamentally, you are basically collating data and analyzing that data, and because the data is so rich, the data that has been provided is so rich, the information that can be processed from the data is also very valuable. It is not some small data, it's a very huge amount of data which can be processed, and the value of that information is very high, which can help in answering and doing all of these things, these different kinds of use cases that we saw in the medical space, right? All right, thank you. So what else? Anyone else has any question? Chandrakant, did he answer your question?
Yeah, answered, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you, Mithun. Anyone else wants to ask any questions to Mithun? All right, so let's move on to the next presenter. Thank you, Mithun. So we'll give you one round of applause. But hold on. So it's just that those who are presenting, they're getting some points. The others, I'm going to ask you questions after all these presentations are gone. There are a lot of you who've just been silent. Neither have they asked any questions, nor are they present with their presentations. So let's go with the next presentation now. Who is the next participant? Who wants to go next? Vinayak, I think, right? Vinayak was the next one. Vinayak, can you go ahead and do your presentation? So you'll take 10 minutes, you said, right? Okay. Go ahead, Vinayak.
Sir, screen is visible, sir.
Yes.
Sir, ChatGPT is nothing but it is an artificial intelligence and developed by OpenAI and released in November 2022. And ChatGPT is a member of the generative pre-trained transformer family of language models. OpenAI collects the data from ChatGPT user to train and fine the service further. User can upload or download.
So don't read it out from the, if I were to just read out this thing, I can also read it. You have to explain it to us. No? Don't just read the lines. You have to explain this to me, to everybody, so that everybody understands. Okay.
Sir, I think ChatGPT is nothing but it is an artificial intelligence by the use of artificial intelligence. OpenAI company is that developed. The company owner is Elon Musk, and ChatGPT is how full form is GPT, generative pre-trained transformer. It means it will generate the data answer with the help of pre-trained. That's why it is called generative pre-trained transformer. OpenAI, it is collect all the data and it analyze the data. It will give the answers from the server. It will give the answer, and it will powerful AI bot that is capable of understanding human speech and producing in-depth writing that is easily understood by humans. Whenever we asking the questions to the chat GPT, it will give you the answer like a text. And what kind of because chat GPT is nowadays they are implementing, they have a what type of question we can ask that chat GPT, that write codes, do translation, like debug, recommend you songs, party ideas, write a compelling poem or prose, help you prepare a law exam, and write an essay. Whichever essay we can write essay like Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose. When we enter the Subhash Chandra essay, it will give the all the details of the Subhash Chandra Bose and give you any songs. We enter any song, it will give the songs. And different then 6 slides is difference between ChatGPT and Google. There is a difference between ChatGPT and Google. When we ask the questions to ChatGPT, it will give the specific answer for the specific questions. When we enter in Google, it will give the list of websites. And when we in another difference, there is no link. When we enter the questions, it will give the specific answer, and the questions answer does not have a links. But in Google answer, it will, when we click on the website, it will have some links. And benefit of ChatGPT, there are more number of benefits because nowadays they are using kids also. They are asking the questions like alphabets and some other questions. Whenever teacher is not solved that questions, they will enter into that questions into the ChatGPT, will give the answer, and it has been trained and designed to appropriate replacement. It remember the interaction that it had previously with the user, the same prompt tree, and utilize it to provide information surrounding those responses. There is a drawback in the ChatGPT. So when we search the application, like when we search the depending upon like the formula and the language related code examples, we will check once again to the Google, because the ChatGPT gives the misinformation for any circumstance. So we will check that in Google. It is the one drawback, and it can be manipulated to violate the policies and restriction that has been enforced by using cleverly through responses. And it has a limited knowledge of latest technology and events which are yet to be trained on the model, because they are developing the ChatGPTs nowadays. It has some knowledge about some knowledge it have, and they are training to that company, OpenAI company, training that to the ChatGPT. They are implementing. Thank you, sir.
You. Okay, thank you. So you seem to have done some. You created these slides yourself, or someone else helped you?
So I am creating.
Okay, so you already knew a lot of things about ChatGPT. So explain to me, what does it mean? Why?
Sir, sorry for interrupt, sir. Now I am lively ChatGPT. How to lively? So I am now presenting the ChatGPT lives.
Sorry, come again. I didn't get you. I didn't understand.
Sir, once again, repeat, sir.
No, I'm saying I did not understand. What were you saying?
Now I am presenting the live ChatGPT, sir.
Oh, you're doing some presentation. Okay, okay. On the screen. Okay, okay. I didn't see that. Okay. Okay, so you have gone ahead and used that tool also, is it? Okay.
Sir, this is the ChatGPT application, sir.
All right. Again, you're referring only to me. You have to explain to everybody. It's not just for me.
First, we is how to sign up the ChatGPT application, sir. First, we enter the ChatGPT application in Google, sir. After and first website link, we will click on first website link. After that, we will go through the sign up application. Then we
Okay.
enter password and name.
Yeah. So that is regular sign up. Yeah. After that, what is it that you're demonstrating?
Only, sir, how we ask, it is a send message in here. So in presentation, there is a send tab, send the message tab is there, sir.
Okay.
Like, next week, sir. When we enter the questions, like different questions, sir.
So are you demonstrating something or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
When we enter the questions like chat, what is ChatGPT, will give the answer like. When we enter the questions like what is ChatGPT,
Okay, so there is some issue.
sir, there is some issue. Yes, sir. Sir, when we enter the questions, it will give the answer like text field. Yes, sir. ChatGPT is a large language model developed by OpenAI.
Okay. Understood. Understood. Ask something more, slightly more. Ask something else. Let's see.
Which one, sir? You only ask.
No, you go ahead. You can ask your students. There are people, ask the others. I'm trying to engage the others. What else do they want to ask? Benefits of artificial intelligence. Okay. Benefits of artificial intelligence. Benefit spelling is wrong. B-N-E. B-N-E. F-I-T-S. Of our AI. Just type AI. So there you go. You get all your answers. All right.
You only specific answer.
Okay.
Specific answer for the questions.
So you can get answers to all your questions here, right?
Yes.
So, so that means you don't need any more classes. You can, I mean, whatever you want to learn, you can learn on, I mean, in this method. Is that what you understood?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So you don't need any more class. You can stop attending the classes, right?
No, sir.
So why do you need classes then?
Sir, for practice purpose, sir. But this is enough. This is not enough to in front of Guru, sir. In front of Guru, we learn a lot of knowledge, sir.
No, so that is fine. So this is also giving a lot of information. So what is the disadvantage? Why can't it replace? So for example, okay, not only classrooms, it can also replace a lot of jobs. So there is a fear that it will replace a lot of jobs. Like you don't need telecallers, maybe you don't need answers. So you can ask any question, customers can ask any question, and this can probably be trained to provide those answers. You don't need people to sit on the other end and take up calls and answer those questions. So like that, there are so many things that can happen using ChatGPT, right? But there were some disadvantages you explained, right? So what is the drawbacks? Why it is not a full, why it can't be a complete, why it can't replace everything, or why there is still a necessity for human intervention? Where will the human intervention be more prominent? Have you thought about it?
Sir, it won't give correct answer for formula.
Go to drawbacks. Go to your own slide, drawbacks of ChatGPT. There you have provided the answers already. Okay, so one big round of applause for Vinayak, because he's done an effort to even go to the place and do a demo and all of that. So very good. So how did you find this experience, Vinayak? So before we go to that, drawbacks follow. So it may generate incorrect information occasionally. So sometimes if it is, because it's after all doing this through generative AI, right? So there are these disadvantages which you need to keep in mind, right? When doing, so you can't, can you replace a doctor with ChatGPT? If you're going for some major medical surgery, or you or anyone, doing, let's say you are a doctor and you're doing a surgery. So can you depend only on ChatGPT to get all the equipments, and then you can cut your own whatever things and then do the surgery? Can we do it like that? It's not possible. Yeah. So there are certain limitations. There are, I mean, that's an extreme case, but there are certain limitations. There are certain things. Artificial intelligence is also used today for operating, right? I mean, there are use cases where you can use certain ways, robotics for doing certain kind of, things, but you can't replace completely, right? So anyway, so that is, so when you were going through this exercise of collating information about ChatGPT, what was your experience? What did you learn? Your presentation is okay, but I want to understand from you, what did you learn? What is it that you understood, and what is it that you liked about it? How is it going to change the world? How is it going to change the jobs, the scenario, and all of that? You wanted to be in artificial intelligence, right? Last time, I think you only said. Yeah. So how did you, how did you go about doing this demo? Did you go to the site, test it yourself? How did you like the whole experience? Can you share your experience?
ChatGPT is implementing, sir. Then when the implementing is done, sir, it will reduce the jobs, sir, like call center.
So it will reduce those things. It will reduce the effort of automated, some things which are very mundane, regular things which are repeatedly being done, and someone where it can be, it can be taken over by automation or some kind of chatbot and things like that. That is where it will replace. But where you need, so therefore you need to apply your intelligence. Human beings can apply there. It frees them up for doing better things, right? You can start doing better things, create more interesting things which the ChatGPT can do for the organization and things like that, right? You're understanding what I'm saying? Okay, so all right, so let's move on to the next presenter. Who will do the next presentation? I think it was Chandrakant. Go ahead, Chandrakant. You also have 10 minutes.
Is my screen visible, sir?
Not yet. I'm not able to see your screen. I saw something coming up, but it disappeared again.
Is my screen visible, sir?
Not yet. I can't see anything.
Okay, one second. Rashmi madam. Rashmi madam. Hello.
Welcome. ಇವತ್ತು ಕೂಡ ಸೂಪರ್ ಆಗಿರೋ
My screen visible,
yeah,
sir?
I can see the screen now. Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to all to this ChatGPT presentation. Ma'am, next slide. To begin with, let's take a problem and how technology solves it over the years. The problem in hand is a person is having 1 lakh rupees and he wants to deposit the amount and wants to earn interest on it. He wants to earn maximum interest and the safety of the amount also. So how he approaches the problem and finds the solutions for his problem. Rashmi ma'am, next slide. So you can see a picture wherein 1980, a person having a amount, he approaches a group of persons. For example, say a sarpanch or a village head or a mukund in the village, and he just during the chat. So from here chat begins. During the chat, he throws up this question like, अरे यार मेरा पास पैसा है, क्या करूं, किधर इन्वेस्ट करूं, किधर डालूं, कहां से ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट आएगा. Like that, he begins the chats and he gets answers for his questions. This was way back in 1980. Ma'am, next slide. And during 1990, what happens? Banks spread across the breadth and width of the nation, and everywhere there were banks, and there was more trust on banks than keeping the money here and there. So during 1990, what happens? Person having money, he wanted to deposit. He used to visit the bank branches, inquire the bank staff about the amount to be invested, what the rate he is getting, what is the period, like all that, and he used to get answer for his questions. So this was in 1990. Here, from asking, clearing his doubts in a village, he came to the bank physically and got his doubts cleared. Ma'am, next slide. And in 2000s, what happened? 2000 was the era of the internet boom, and every business had a website of their own wherein they gave a rich introduction about themselves, what goods and services they are offering, and all that. So everywhere there were .coms, Gmails. So you can see the picture. The scenario got changed, and instead of visiting a bank branch physically, you can visit the bank website from the comfort of your home, and you can make an inquiry there, or you can check the information there, like what interest rate they are giving for a FD of 1 lakh for a period of 1 year. Ma'am, next slide. And normally what happens here now in this time of 2000s and more than 2000s, we seek information from the net. This process is evolving day by day. As the technology changes, it evolved through search engines like what Google is a search engine, Bing is a search engine. It searches, they feed in keywords like what are our query words through all the websites where it is used the most number of times, and it throws them on the screen. Throws them on the screen means what? It throws the links of those websites wherein our keywords are used the most number of times on the screen, and we have to visit those links and find go through the information and find answers to our question. Ma'am, next slide. In 2010, search engines like Google become very famous. Let's make a search for FD rates on Google search engine. Ma'am, check for FD rates on Google search engine, on Google. Rashmi ma'am. Any search engine is okay. FD rates in India. This is Google search engine. Ma'am, just go back. Okay. It has listed. Ma'am, just go back. Okay. For FD rates, the search engine has searched in India those websites which are offering interest rates for FD deposited by us, like Sriram Finance is there, and many other banks are there just below. Ma'am, just scroll down. like latest bank deposits, plan progress, and ICICI Pro Gift is there. So like whichever business entities which offer deposits and give interests, like HDFC Bank is there, it has listed like what rate they offer at what percentage for how many days, all those things, and even Economic Times is there. All those links it will throw on the screen, from wherein we have to visit and get the answer for our queries. Ma'am, go back to slides. I think it was 6th. Okay. Search engines, ma'am, next slide again. Companies, let's understand after, so this was a brief introduction about the Google search engines, not Google, about the search engines. Now let's take a view of why chatbots are developed. Companies develop chatbots to automate the process of interaction between the staff and the customers. Say for example, in a bank wherein 5,000 employees work, and through the day they answer customer queries like account opening, FDs, where is the branch, complaints, loans, address change, name change. These all small queries will be there. These are the interactions happen between the customers and the bank staff. But actually the bank gets its business from accepting the deposits, lending them, and generating the interest. So that is the main source of income for the banks. Whereas these all interactions, they are just facilitating the customers, not yielding any revenue to the bank. So how a bank can focus more on revenue generation than servicing the customers? Yes, of course, they can't neglect this part of customer service, but they can automate it. So how they can automate? See, customers are asking questions to 5,000 staff. So instead of engaging all the 5,000 staff in customer interactions, they can develop a chatbot. See, by analyzing customer complaints or customer interactions, they come to know that account opening, FDs, branch location complaints, they are the major queries. So information related to these keywords, they put in a box. That is the chat box. Okay. Whenever a customer makes a query regarding account opening, he makes a query, that is the prompt that triggers chatbot to open that box where account opening query related information is there. So when you prompt that throws the account opening information on the screen. So a person who was supposed to give the information, a chatbot is giving the information, customer gets his information, he is happy, and he moves on to his next query, or with that information he visits the bank, wherein his time is also saved, and the customer or bank executive, his time is also saved. Ma'am, next slide. This process is called chatbox. Let's have a I wanted to give a quick demo of a chatbot of Kotak Kia, but from my screen I was not able to share the screen. I'll give a try, sir. Can I? Okay, I'll skip this part, sir, as I am not able to share the screen of the Kotak in this. Ma'am, next slide. 10th slide. So after chatbox, the next version of seeking information is GPT. What GPT? GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Text. This presently in the market, Chat GPT is is on a trend, and this is developed by a company called OpenAI of Elon Musk. GPT. Let's understand GPT. G stands for generative. Here, G represents ability to generate natural human language text. So what happens whenever you make a query, any query, GPT answers in a language as if it was given by a human being. See, in example, what was happening in Google search engine, it was just throwing you the links, whereas in Chat GPT, it was throwing you the information which a person had kept ready. But here, the GPT, the Chat GPT, it searches the all the websites, it prepares the information to be presented, and it presents in a format which feels like you are conversing with another human being. That's its capacity to generate a human readable, human language text. So how this is done, this generative, how it gets its capacity to generate a human conversable language? It's done through language machines or language programs, wherein programs are written which read the text in the websites and understand them and present them to the reader through these LLMs. LM stands for language models. Language models in the sense, let's understand language model by taking a day-to-day human scenario. It's the election time in Karnataka, and whenever a media channel person goes to a village to know how the sentiment is there, there are two candidates, A and B. He interacts with some few 100 persons in the village. Who is having the chance of winning, person A or person B? Say like if 50% respond, person A will win, and if 50 will go for person B will win, then the media person will say, because he has got 50% mixed response, he will say that media person will say there is a mixed chances of person A winning or person B also can win. This way he will rephrase his result. Suppose in case if 90% of the respondents say person A will win with a strong margin or a good margin, then the media person will say there are strong possibilities, or there are strong chances that person A is going to win. He will not declare that person A will win, but he will predict the probability of he winning based on the responses he has got from the people. So this generative GPT also praises its sentences from the probability it has got. See, in language models, what happens? Language models go through a lot of websites wherein and a sequence of texts, and based on those texts and their appearances, here in a real-time scenario, a media person was interacting with the villagers, whereas here the AI will interact with the web pages, and and the text written in there, it will get the sequences. If in all the web pages that person A is going to win with 90% accuracy, so AI will pick those probability that out of 100 pages I visited, 90 pages predicted that person A is going to win. Then in that case, with that strong probability, it will throw a result. Person A may win the elections. It will not predict, but it will not declare the result, but it will predict that person A is having the chances of winning, or he will come with a good margin. That way it will do the work. And this is the language model, and this is one of the smallest example I have given, whereas generative GPT makes use of LLM. What is LLM? LLM is large language model, wherein based on billions of parameters, a large set of web pages will be visited, and text will be understood. The sequence of text will be understood. Okay, this is about generative. And then pre-trained. Pre-trained represents the fact that the model has already been trained on some finite data set, much like you would read a book or maybe several books before being asked to answer a question about it, or the media person getting his response from the villagers. Pre-trained in the sense, who trains them? Who trains the AI? It is the people who complete Python with AI course. They will be going to train the GPT. So it's like people like us only. Once we completion of the course, we may try our hands in pre-training the GPT or chat GPT. So and then let's the transformer represents the underlying machine learning architect that powers the chat GPT. What's a transformer? Transformer means machine learning models. So machine learning models, we will be learning in our future days as the course progresses. Ma'am, next slide. So how chat gpt is trained? There are some versions of training of chat gpt. So one is a large number of trainers will be sitting who are experts in AI programming. They will be training. There are two versions of training chat gpt. One is supervised learning, another is reinforced learning. In supervised learning, what happens? It's like a teacher will give a student 100 essays to read. The gpt reads them and comes back and reads some 10 essays based on its experience. This is supervised learning. So in reinforced learning, what happens? Teacher now gives the feedback by differentiating between a good essay and a bad essay. How he 5 essays he classifies as a good essays and 5 as a bad essays. So he programs in such a gpt in such a way that next time it will prepare 10 essays which are like the 5 good essays. So GPT makes an understanding that while preparing next 10 essays, it should use the program which was used for those 5 good essays. So this is the reinforcement. It makes its learning reinforced. In this, similar to the reinforcement learning stage of training the GPT model, after being fed a massive amount of text scrapped from the internet, the model can answer the question. However, the accuracy is not going to be good enough. But human trainer asks the model to question. How accurate the GPT? It's based on how accurately the AI experts train the model. Ma'am, next slide. So about this little bit of understanding about the GPT, what's the future of the chat GPT? So in terms of in corporate sector, in customer service, we can have 24/7 customer service support, answering frequently asked questions, providing troubleshooting assistance, and offering product recommendations to customers. So here we can see GPT is replacing customer service executives. Yeah, true. They can do a wonderful job, but they may not replace 100% customer executives. But customer service executives will be monitoring the GPTs, provided they are going in the correct way. Later on, they should not create the trouble to the companies. And in marketing, analyzing customer interactions, this information help companies improve their marketing strategies and create more effective campaigns. Analyzing customer interactions, from here the GPT gets those interactions between the customer service executive and the telephonic interviews or through surveys, whatever kind of data exchange modes, those are happening between company guys and the customers. So analyzing them, AIs can design more effective campaigns, wherein with the lesser cost, company can target more productive or yielding customers. And also in a recruitment, also assisting with resume screening, conducting initial interviews, and providing feedback to the candidates, as well as providing candidate assessment to the HR teams. For example, as a resume screening is not a small work. Whenever a company like Infosys or TCS call firms for an interview for a position, lakhs of guys will be sending their resumes. So who will screen those resumes? Nowadays, until now, they used to be screened by the HR team only, but this work will be reduced by the AI and GPT teams by just going through the keywords, whether they are in the resume or not. So once they are there, they will be listed and will be sent to the HR team for manual screening. Ma'am, next slide. Thanks, guys. So this was all about the AI and chat GPT. Thanks for being in the right place at the right time. Congrats for being here also. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Anybody having any doubts or queries or interactions? Please feel free to ask. or anybody wants to know more about the GPTs, can throw the questions. If I know, I'll give the answer, or else I'll come up with the answer.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, audible now, sir.
Yeah, somehow it was not muting. So, I mean, unmuting. I'm sorry. It's audible, clear to everybody. Can I get a yes in the chat box?
Yeah, audible, sir.
Suddenly there was a, just couldn't unmute it. Okay. All right. So let's have some questions for Chandrakant. So one big round of applause for him for his effort in kind of doing that research and coming up with this. Good, Chandrakant. So let's get some questions for Chandrakant.
Yeah, please, sir.
Mithun, Uzma, anyone from KTC Hubli? Everybody is very clear. So if nobody is asking questions, I'm assuming everybody is clear with it. So because I will be giving an assignment, like I said, right? So we still have some time. So there will be an assignment and which will include concepts from all these sessions and all the presentations that we're seeing today. Okay. So nobody's got any questions for Chandrakant? Okay, so Chandrakant, after doing, so you've already presented quite a bit. So after doing all this research and coming back with this presentation material, what is your experience? What did you learn and what is your experience? How do you feel about new technologies and chat GPT and all of this that you have, put together a presentation on?
So all the days through AI, we were analyzing a different set of information. Whereas now through this chat GPT, we are analyzing the text. The AI is reading a text, and moreover, it is presenting it in a human readable form. It sounds as good as we are conversing, we are chatting with a human. So that way, it is generating a text.
Okay. No, so that is fine. I'm understanding that you understood the technology, but what is your experience of after having done? So before this exercise, what was your situation? And after doing this exercise, what is your level of confidence?
So,
Can you
level of
answer
confidence?
questions?
Yes, sir.
Can you answer
See, in terms of the confidence, before the presentation and after preparing for the presentation, sir. So this once we are through this AI and Python course, Chat GPT is a career avenue for us guys.
Okay.
So there we can Chat GPT is going to come up in a big way in the future, sir. Probably in another 5 or 10 years.
Okay.
So that's one big career avenue for all these youngsters who are currently doing the course. So that's why at the end of the session, my session, last PPT was thanking those guys for being in the right place at the right time, because they are going to be the beneficiaries of this boom that's going to happen in next 5 years. They have taken a wonderful decision.
Okay. All right. So thank you, Chandrakant. So who will present next? We have limited time. So who will, Uzma, who was the next presenter? There were 2 more presentations, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Uzma, go ahead and present. Thank you, Chandrakant. Thank you for that. So if nobody is asking any questions, I'm making a note, and the assignment will be based on all these presentations, okay? The exercise that we're going to do now after all these presentations. All right. Go ahead, Uzma.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Uzma Kamal from Kionix Raichur. I'm going to present application of ChatGPT in education industry. So can I share my screen, sir?
Yeah, go ahead and share your screen, please.
I'm trying to do it.
Okay. You should have a share screen option and you should be able to share your screen.
Yes, sir. I don't know why I'm not getting that.
Do you have a share screen option?
Yes, sir, I have it, but I couldn't open it. I don't know why.
No, is it showing green or is it gray?
Green.
Okay, when you click on it, what is it doing? Can
Any option start? I understand, sir, because I have created this on my phone only.
I'm sorry, Uzma, what is it?
I have made my presentation on my phone only, sir. So I don't know where it has been saved. So it's so many options.
Okay, so you will have to figure that out. You'll have to find out where it is. Meanwhile, who will go and present next? So you can find that out, and after that we'll
Yes, sir.
or if you can put up in a laptop or something like that, that will be better. Okay. Yeah, who else will present? There was one more person. Can we have a quick response, please? Is there anyone else who wanted to present? They can go ahead and present now, while Uzma is trying to figure out what she needs to do with her presentation. Is there anyone else who's presenting? Vaishali Computers, is there somebody from Vaishali Computers who's presenting? Yes. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can we have your screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Sapna, sir. Center from Virtual Computers Scholarly. Our topic is ChatGPT and submitted to Anil Yerra. Next slide. Meaning, ChatGPT is a natural language processing by AI technology. It will have a human conversation. It can answer questions and queries, assist you with tasks such as essays and composing emails and code. Next slide, ma'am. So here we can see the method that how KT simply has shown the demo. Here we can see today I have to prepare the banking sector GPT. So I'll type there how the banking sectors use ChatGPT. So it gives some information it gives some information the banking sector all the so with this information I can know about what to do what do we, like what are the benefits we have? Next slide, ma'am. Benefits of ChatGPT. Here, they are the five. I have used five benefits: customer interaction, fraud detection, loan organization, wealth management, financial planning. Customer interaction is nothing but banks can use ChatGPT to transform their customer service by providing real-time support. That is RTL. It have NLP capabilities. Nothing but natural language processing. It can respond to customer queries, information, and provides, and it also takes on complaints and it can use efficiently. Next is fraud detection. ChatGPT can assist banks with detecting and preventing fraud by analyzing vast amount of transaction data and identify some suspicious patterns. This can help banks protect customer financials and reduce the loss. Bank person can even set some alerts, and so security professional get notification of suspicious activity. Loan organization. Loan organization. So when customers apply for loans, ChatGPT can provide RTG, that is nothing but real-time guidance and support throughout the process. Then this model can assist banks in gathering customers' data, first analyzing their credit worthiness and providing real-time feedback on loan application. So with ChatGPT's ability to analyze vast amount of data and make accurate prediction, bank can reduce the risk of default and make informed decisions about from approvals. Wealth management. ChatGPT can assist banks and provide personalized wealth management service to their customers by analyzing their customers' data and providing customized investment recommendation based on this individual financial goals and risk tolerance. Financial planning. As many customers rely on the banks that we want any suggestion how to develop the finance plan. So we can use this ChatGPT. It's best opportunity for use ChatGPT. Banks can use this model to provide personalized financial planning service, including budgeting, debt management, and retirement planning. Next slide. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So any questions for her from anybody else? So she touched upon some use cases or some advantages from the finance industry, right? I mean, the banking sector. So anyone has any questions for her? No? Everybody's understanding everything perfectly. So we'll have a very good exercise then after this. Okay, who is the next presenter? Who will present next? If they have a question for her, you can ask them now. Okay, no questions. Very good.
Sir, I have a question. Like in banks, AI or ChatGPT, how it's detect frauds which are going to happen in future, sir?
Yeah, so they can answer the question.
So they will give some notifications like any suspicion. They will analyze some suspicious patterns, so that they will message or they will give notifications.
So, yeah, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yeah, satisfied, sir. There was a keyword like suspicion pattern. Based on which AI will be comparing the patterns of the normal clients and the clients who are to be fraudsters.
So what could be a suspicious pattern, for example?
A suspicious pattern wherein form filling, during the time of the form filling itself, a pattern emerges for if 100 clients have applied for a loan. AI will identify the patterns in all those cases, wherein for one client, the pattern will be different. Say, for example, he may change his address 3 times in a month. Normally, that doesn't happen across 100 clients. So this client who changes his address 3 times in a month, we can't declare him as a fraudster, but we need to monitor him.
Okay.
Need to be cautious with him.
So those
and
are patterns. So something going off the pattern will be analyzed basically. So
Yes.
for example, you're purchasing very heavy items to the same house or same residence, something is being delivered, high value items with different credit cards or things like that. So basically different patterns which are not same or which are not generally the way it is done. They will detect those patterns and then they will try to identify or monitor them, like you said, right? So that's how
Yes,
you could detect. Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, it again depends largely on the information and the data that it has already captured and analysis of that data and information, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. So who will go with the next presentation? Thank you to this team as well. Who presented. Thank you. Who will go next? Anyone else wants to present? Is Uzma ready with her presentation or she's not been able to pull it up? Uzma, what is the situation? Okay, now I'm going to, so only I see about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hands up. Mithun has presented Vaishali Computers. Jenkar, do you have a presentation? Dhananjay, do you have a presentation? Mahadev, do you have a presentation? Funny, do you have a presentation? Uzma is trying to struggle. She's still struggling, looks like. Your hand is not raised, but I can't see your, I need to know that you're a student as well, right? So Uzma, you'll have to keep your hand raised. Who else? Anybody else who's a student?
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Yes, Mahadev.
Sir, well, I have a question. Like anybody can answer. Like, how can we ensure that AI or
no, is this a question? Is this a question to the specific presentation or it's a random question that is coming up suddenly?
It's a random question, sir.
No, so I want a question pertaining to the previous presentation that we had.
Okay, it can answer like Chandrakant can be answered to this.
No, not Chandrakant, the one which we just now had. You can't wake up just now and ask your questions, no?
No, I just got flashed it now.
I'm sorry?
I just got flashed it now.
You just started attending, you're saying, is it?
Sorry?
You just joined the class. That's what you're saying?
No. I just got a question right now.
Okay. Okay. So hold
like
on.
How can we ensure that?
Okay, what is your question?
Like how can we ensure that ChatGPT or AI can be used in a responsible or like in a beneficial way? Like it can also be used in a illegal way, right? How can we use?
So you were supposed to do. So you were supposed to do the exercise, and so have you done the assignment? Previous sessions assignment. Did you take up?
Yes, sir. I am about to do that.
Okay. No. So you have to do your exercise, then you can ask questions. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So
sure,
do
sir.
pick up an industry. You will understand with this question also. You can pick up the industry, do an exercise,
Sure,
do the exercise, and then we will discuss that. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Sir.
Who else is Uzma presenting? Uzma, are you presenting? Okay, looks like Uzma, you're not able to present. Okay, so Uzma, I think you'll have to do it from your laptop or some other place. It's not happening. I can just give you another minute to, experiment.
Sir, can I share?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. And my topic is about ChatGPT and its applications in civil engineering. Sir, is my share screen is visible, sir?
Yes, it's visible for me.
ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence developed by the OpenAI, and it has a capability of converting our queries into the conversational tone, and it will give our answers. GPT is a generative pre-trained transformer, and it has a large language module, and it depends on the deep learning. And this GPT takes the data from Wikipedia and large sources also. And this is the GPT architecture. Whenever we give a question to them, and it will synthesize the question, and based on the classification and the similarity, and it will give us the answers. The uses of ChatGPT in civil engineering. ChatGPT can be useful for civil engineering by educating and training, and by design assistance, and by construction planning and management, quality control and safety management also. How ChatGPT is going to educate and train? If whenever a normal citizen want to build a house or anything, he can just type some design. I want some designs, and I want some basic data, how to construct my house, and which type of materials should I use, and it will specify the answers. And it can also assist us by designing by various designs also. And it can say us the load bearing capacities based on the our soil capacity, and it can analyze our structure also. This activity can be used in construction planning and management also. It will automate the construction and reduce the risks involving in the cost efficient project outcomes. Quality control. This can be achieved by using ChatGPT also. Safety training. It can give the various safety methods for our construction also. Thank you.
All right. Interesting to see your presentation on civil engineering and ChatGPT. So without referring to the slides, can you explain this in your own words? Can you come up on screen and explain this in your own words? Why, how you can use this in this industry?
Am I visible, sir?
Yeah.
Have some internet breaks.
Okay.
You're
talking about safety training. So when you're saying safety training, it is applicable to this industry. It can also be applicable to any other industry. It could be applicable in oil and gas industry. It could be applicable in training in, let's say, aviation industry. Yeah, safety training. You can use it, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So that is one. Then what else? So what I'm trying to explain to all of you is, so when someone is presenting, you can see that the same things can be applied possibly in the same way or in a slightly altered way in a different industry as well, right? In a different industry, the same things can be used, the same concepts can be applied, and the same approach can be used. The technology can be the same, and you can apply it across the across industries, basically, right? Yeah. What else? Can you explain some more benefits, how you're going to use this in your industry? Funny?
Yes, sir. In safety training in civil engineering, whenever we type safety training for skyscrapers, it will take the question and it will give us the data which was collected before and how other companies are maintaining. And if a new organization, they can apply for their organization, sir. This safety training tells.
Okay. Okay. What else?
In quality control also, sir.
Okay. How will you use it in quality control?
If I am building a new house, I will say the elements by typing this quality control, sir, in ChatGPT. How the material should be mixed, and how it should be plastered or anything, sir.
So it can be a guiding factor. It can be a guiding factor in quality control, and it can enhance it further. Is that what you're saying? Okay. All right. So thanks. Who else is going to present? Thanks, Funny. Thanks for that.
Thanks.
So again, another round of applause for Funny. Who else? All of you who have put in effort to do some research and put together this thing, good round of applause to all of you. Who else? One, I think Uzma was trying, but I think she's not able to put it up on the screen. Anyone else wants to present?
Sir, shall I now?
Yeah, go ahead, Dhananjay.
Dhananjay here. Yes, sir. I'm just sharing the screen. Sir, just a minute. I'm sharing the screen. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Myself Dhananjay, and my topic is ChatGPT for content creation. Yeah, basically, ChatGPT is a language model that works on a deep learning and generate human-like responses to prompts. What are all the inputs we give in the ChatGPT prompt? We will be giving out result in the format of text, depending on the previously uploaded answers, or else answers from which the experts will be uploaded. And then basically what is content creation is a process of generating written or visual content such as blog posts, article, and social media posts. And even we can take our blogs also. If we enter a question in a ChatGPT regarding how to do a blog, like what are all the things we have to follow when doing a blog, like that, if we put a question on that, it will give a complete guide, how do we have to introduce while starting the vlog, and how we have to take the log, and how we have to end up the log, and what are all the concepts we have to cover on the vlog. like that. I mean, and even we can use content creation is important for marketing, SEO, and brand building. Like SEO is a search engine optimization. Here, the keywords does matter very important role. And then challenges in content creation. Content creation is very time consuming for those who start from an early stage, or else who are freshers for that thing. From ChatGPT, as it is an expert, of the informations containing in that, we can use ChatGPT to create a content also, and it gives a high quality content relevant to our questions, and with the standard output. How ChatGPT can help with content creation? ChatGPT can generate high quality content, quality, as I said in a past slide, and it can come up with new and creative content ideas. Like if we are going to learn from some of the people or some of the experts around us, we'll be getting the knowledge of that one, that thing, precise knowledge. If we are giving input in the prompt of ChatGPT, we'll be getting information from all over the world, like where all the data backend, where all the information stored in the ChatGPT backend, we'll be getting information from all over the world, and that is the best part. And generating content with ChatGPT. This is like just a process of generating content. Users can input a topic, and ChatGPT will generate a complete article or post. And ChatGPT can be trained on specific topics, and ChatGPT can also provide suggestions for headlines. Like if you're planning to do a business and you don't know what are all the names you can give to your brand, like if even if that is a clothing brand, like that, you can specifically give some of the keywords, like I have to open a shop, which in previous class, as we saw some of the nice ideas from Sadiq and team, we can give enter like that also, like mm, what maybe I keep as a brand name if I am opening a online store where people can come and customize their clothes. Means the ChatGPT will give the answer for that type of questions also. And that's the thing, and benefits of using ChatGPT for content creation. And it's generating content quickly and efficiently. It can help come up with new and creative content ideas. It can be trained on specific topics. And examples is like if a marketing guy, I will take an example of a marketing guy. If a marketing guy is interested in using ChatGPT, wait a minute, sir. Like his target audience means, like let us assume he's opening an ice cream shop. Like if he has to target an audience, like he can give in a prompt, like I'm planning to open an ice cream parlor in a town. Like how can I identify the target? Like even if we give these basic questions also, that ChatGPT will give many ideas in the prompt output, and he can use for like this also, and like this also. And he can develop some of the marketing copies in or like as Chandrakant and team was saying, like they can give some discounts on festivals and all. We can use ChatGPT to develop some marketing copies, like can you make the like there is a festival, like a new year is coming on, and we are providing 25% of discount, and we need some marketing strategies to sell our products still more, like that. We can even give like that also. And preparing effective sales pitch, say, for example, can you make it personalized for the customers on other end, if we are communicating with a customer, and we want more sales pitch, like if we are specifically if we have already the data of the customers, like feedback, and we can keep that feedback, we can keep that feedback as an input, and by giving that input, we will be getting strategies to move the sales. And that's also. Thank you.
All right.
Actually, even this slide also I created now, sir, using ChatGPT only. So in a hurry.
Okay. So, any questions for Dhananjaya? Dhananjaya, you should have been on video. We couldn't see you at all.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Like, I didn't focus on that, like while present. Wait.
Okay. So, any questions for Dhananjaya?
Yes, sir.
So, Dhananjay, how you just now prepared the slides using the AI? So you
Yeah,
got the information, copied and pasted it on the slides, or it only gave you the slides?
Yeah, like can I share that screen of ChatGPT where I search, like everybody will be getting to know, like
Okay, please.
How I go through. Yeah, wait.
See, my question is whether it gives a ready-made PPT only based on your topic.
No, not ready PPT. Like there is an option of developing ready PPT also, like in Microsoft, but there is no option of, as of I know, there is no option of developing ready PPT from Google Slides. But there is an option with Microsoft, I think, that searching like VBA code to present a slide, like followed by your presentation topic, like that you can develop. And now I just got the content only, and then I just copy paste the content to the slides, Google Slides. As I was like I saw a complete recording of last session, but I skipped last 20 minutes, and that last 20 minutes was the assignment. So I was unaware of that. So I just prepared the slides now.
Okay.
Just
so basically, so is it fair on? So you've just copied and pasted from there. So where is your intelligence coming in here?
So like actually, I just opt the what to say, or just opt the topic which is a topic I have to choose, and it will be giving a random points, and I was opting the points which I need to cover, like that.
Okay, so the structure, you can think of the structure, you can also plan the presentation and all of that. Although all this information is available, you can present it. It's up to you how you present it and use it for your advantage, right?
Yeah, so like as I'm sharing the screen here, see, like I just entered ChatGPT for content creation in simple slides. Like it just gave all the thing I have to discuss here. And actually why I gave like example of marketing in between is, like I saw one of the course in quick learning, sir. Like there it was a free of like free certification course, like that. So I saw some of the videos there, and I got some ideas, like you can use in branding process and marketing copies and effective sales pitch, like that. So I gave an example of that, sir.
Okay.
Like I just merged all the things I got from various things.
So see, the basic point is information and content and data is all available. It is how you want to pull it out and how you want to use it and how you want to present it. That is the challenge today. It's not about creating content, but it is about how you collate it and put it together, right? All right. So anybody else has any other questions for Dhananjay, or shall we move forward? Is there anyone else wanting to ask a question? Yeah. All the students have to raise their hands. Otherwise, I wouldn't know who's a student and who's not a student. Okay. Can you please raise your hands? Yeah. Who wants to present next? Is there any other last presentation? Okay. So now here is the exercise. Okay. For now, I don't know how many. Can you all come up on your video? Vaishali Computers, KTC, Hubli. How many participants are there? Should I do it like we did last time, or should I just make all of you as one group? Because we don't have too many students in each room. Okay, we'll do like this. We will have Vaishali Computers as one group. I don't know how many students are there. I can hardly see their faces. KTC Hubli, I see only 2 people, but I can't help it. So you'll have to interact however you do. Yes.
So in center only we have members. We have still we have in online. Online. So we can.
No, my question is, should I keep should we continue like the last time where wherever there are rooms and students are there, that becomes a team and the rest of you become one team? Shall we continue like that?
So we'll go with the previous fixed model itself.
The previous model? The previous model?
The previous fixed model we will go with.
I can't hear you. I can't understand what you're saying.
I'll go with the Hubli KTC, sir.
So you will have to, yeah, but you will have to communicate with them separately. You can't be speaking here because you don't have the option of doing a breakout room. So you can join KTC Hubli and Vaishali Computers is one team. And the rest of you who are there individually here will be one team. And they can communicate here on this during this session. The others can do it in their rooms. Okay, so the assignment is like this. Did I show you in any of the previous sessions something called as a customer journey?
No, sir, it was not shown.
I have not shown a customer journey.
No, sir.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Let me know when you're able to see my screen. Okay. It is not, you don't have to worry so much if you don't really understand. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see, sir.
So we looked at this application of ChatGPT, AI, and all of that in different industries. And I also gave you an exercise last time about retail industry, right? So this is a customer's journey in a retail industry. Okay, don't worry too much about this, but this is just to give you some guideline. So before you become a customer, when you buy some clothes, let us say you're buying some clothes, or you're buying a television, or you're buying some product, right? First, you need to become aware of it, right? So how do you become aware of it? Through advertisements and things like that. And then you need to consider buying that. How do you consider buying some things? How will you consider buying things? You will look at some reviews, online reviews and things like that, right? And then you will have a purchase stage where you will actually purchase it online, or you'll go to the store or wherever you're doing it, right? And then you have a service stage. The company will do some servicing for you if it is a product like an AC or a television set and things like that. And then when you like it a lot, there will be a stage when you will become loyal. Maybe you will buy the same brand, some other product. Maybe you'll buy another electronic equipment with the same brand, or you'll go with the same brand of clothing, things like that. And there is a stage, the last stage, advocacy, which is where you talk about that product which you bought to others, to your friends, to your circle, and advertise yourself. So you become the ambassador of that product. Maybe you do good advertising, or you do bad advertising. If you don't like it, you can also say, I don't like it, right? So there are these 6 stages of a customer, and this goes on cyclically, right? When you buy the other one, again, it will become. So in retail industry, like we looked at the example of clothing example last time, which is very, I'm taking that example because all of you are mostly aware of it. So, and you purchase clothes, right? Maybe a lot of you buy it online as well. So there are these 6 different stages, right? And there are these different stages, and it is a cyclic thing. Once you advocate, again, you might buy the product and things like that. So anyway, so regardless of that, when you look at this in a retail industry, so we looked at banking, someone looked at civil engineering and all of that. I want you to explore, all of you, I want you to explore the applications of AI in the retail industry. Retail is, so how will you look at the applications? Look at these different stages, right? These, when you're becoming aware of the product, when you're considering buying that product as a customer, in each of those stages, how can the company use chat GPT or AI, artificial intelligence, or any other tool for that matter, to enhance the experience of the customer so that the customer becomes more attracted towards your brand and buys the brand in each of these stages, okay, or some of these stages at least. Okay, so you can think of the different you already answered all of these. A lot of these answers were already there in all of your sessions, all your presentations. Already there were a lot of explanations you gave. You just have to look back on those and then look at how you're going to apply those things, same things in the retail industry. So the retail industry, you can take the example of clothing, or you can take whatever example. You can take an example based on your team. Okay, so your time starts. You have about 15-20 minutes to do this exercise, and let us see how you will apply whatever you've listened to today, whatever you've heard from the other presenters, and your own thoughts and ideas about how you will apply these technologies in the retail industry across these different stages. All right. Is this clear? Is this clear to everybody? If it is clear, can I get a clear in the chat box?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Is it clear to everybody else? Can I get a yes in the chat box? Yes, okay, KTC, please clear. So it's clear to everybody. So go ahead, your time starts now. You can go and discuss amongst yourselves. You can put together those points in a slide, or yeah, maybe you can put it in a slide and then present it back. Or I will ask you, if we have time, we'll present, or we'll have a discussion around it. But at least put those points together in a slide. Okay. All right. And don't worry about the customer journey part. It is basic things. You can look at how you become aware of the product. How do you start considering buying the product? How do you purchase the product in the purchase? For example, I will give you an example of application, right? So in the purchase phase, we spoke about fraud detection, right? So how can you use this technology to detect frauds in the purchase pattern? Let's say there is a lot of unusual pattern of purchasing certain things. So you can use fraud detection for preventing misuse of credit cards or misuse of someone else's credentials and things like that. So that can be an application which can be used during the purchase phase in the cycle that I showed you, right? Don't worry too much about that cycle. It's a concept from a different topic, but generally get the idea of, when you start becoming aware of a brand, when you consider buying the brand, when you buy the brand, what service the brand gives you after you bought it, then how do you become loyal to that brand, and how do you advocate or talk about that brand to the outside world. In each of these phases, how do you use technology to enhance the customer's experience? Okay, what solutions are there that you can use to make the company more beneficial, so that more customers come to buy from that company, right? After all, technology is being used here for doing some business to promote that business. How can the technology be used to enhance the business of this retail company that you're working? Okay, all right, go ahead. Your time starts now. It's 4:10, so you have about 15-20 minutes for this. Okay. So all those who are individually present here, I need some interaction amongst themselves to know that you're participating. Otherwise, there's no point. There are 3 teams as far as I can understand. It's KTC Hubli, then there is another one, Vaishali Computers, and the rest of you who are there here. All right. Yeah, go ahead. I don't see any interaction with the individuals present here. Chetan, Uzma, Jainkar, what happened to all of them? I've seen the students are trickling down. So we have, I don't know. So maybe the other teams who are there in the groups in the rooms are participating amongst themselves. But what about the others?
Yep. We are discussing, sir.
Okay. Mithun, Afreen, are you there? Uzma is trying to discuss with you. If you're there, you'll need to interact with her. Uzma, in the absence of anybody else being there, you can work on your own and you can build this on your own. Is that okay, Uzma? Uzma, are you there? So are you all at it? I hope all the other teams are at it. The teams in the rooms. I didn't hear any discussion with the individual members here, but what about the others? The team Vaishali and KTC Hubli, are you doing this exercise? Okay, looks like you're all doing it. How much more time do you need for this? Another 10 minutes? Can you unmute yourself and speak, please?
Sir, 10 minutes, sir.
Okay, all right. You have to discuss amongst yourselves. You don't have to just copy things and all of that. You have to discuss amongst yourselves and put it together. Okay. Okay, how are you all doing? Vaishali Computers, KTC Hubli, how are you doing, both of you? The teams, have you done the assignment? Can you unmute yourself, KTC Hubli and Vaishali?
I'm still doing, sir.
Still doing, okay. Okay, let's discuss. What about KTC Hubli? KTC Hubli, can I have you on screen? KTC Hubli, can I have you on screen? Okay, Vaishali Computers, meanwhile, can I know how you're doing it? What is the approach you're taking? Can I see what you have? I know I can understand if you've not put together the slide, but can I understand how you're doing it? Can you explain to me a little bit what you're doing, what you've done so far? Yeah? Can you unmute yourself, and those of you who are working on this, can you explain this together? How you're doing this exercise? Yeah, go ahead. What is the approach? How are you doing this? What is it that you're putting together? What are you discussing? Can I get an idea? KTC Hubli, same applies to you. I don't see you on screen. What happened to KTC Hubli? Can I request the organizing team to reach out to KTC Hubli team and ask them to switch on and let me know what is happening there? Okay, Vaishali Computers, what happened?
It is you free.
Yeah, why did it take so long for you to come up on screen? Are you doing this exercise, not doing this exercise? What is the situation? I want to know. So I want to understand, because we have less time. I want to understand how you're doing this exercise. What is the approach you've taken? Or you all took a break? Oh, it's a nice time. The exercise time is a nice time to take a break. Anyway, whatever the case may be, I just want to understand how you're doing this exercise. What is the approach you're taking? I don't want the complete answer. I want to know how you're doing this exercise. Can you explain that to me? Can KTC Hubli come up on screen and can you answer, Vinayak?
Sir, I will talk to Chandrakant sir. He is online, sir.
No, is he doing it alone or you're all working together on this?
We are working together, sir. Vinayak will be presenting it, sir.
Okay, but what I want to presenting is fine. That is fine. That is later on. I want to understand how are you approaching this assignment? How are you doing this exercise? What is the approach you're taking? Can you explain how you're attempting this exercise?
Attempting in the sense.
I mean, how are you putting together the slides? What is the approach? What is your strategy? What are you doing to get the answers? What are I asked you it was a simple assignment. I want to understand the applications of AI and ChatGPT in this entire customer life cycle. How do you make it? Where all can you use this to enhance the experience of the customer? So how are you doing this? I already gave you the answers also. You have to just say, rephrase all of that and say that back to me again.
So actually in this customer journey, there were 6 steps.
Yeah, Chandrakant, you hold on. I think you can explain, but I want the others also to explain. KTC Hubli, maybe Vinayak, and Vaishali Computer. I want them to come out of their shell. I want you to come out of your shell and explain to me simple things. That's all. I don't want the answer, the complete answer. How have you done the presentation? I don't want the presentation. I want to know how you're approaching that. So supposing I'm a company and I'm offering, I mean, there is a job, right? And then there is a product that needs to be developed. So I'm a company, I'm a retail technology company, let's assume. I'm building a product. I want to build a product which uses AI and which can enhance the experience of my customers or customers of a retail company. So I'm a tech company, I'm building that product. So I want to hire people who will solve this problem for me, right? And I have given this challenge. Okay, this is the entire journey of the customer. There are these different stages. I want to build a solution which can help do all this, and I want to use AI and ChatGPT and all of these things. So if I ask you this kind of a question in an interview, how will you answer this question? What approach will you take? I don't want the product. Obviously, in the interview, you're not expected to provide the solution of the product or give the product, ready-made product. I'm only asking you for what are you doing? How are you putting this together? How will you relate examples from all the other industries that you just now heard about a few minutes ago from the other people, the different presentations that you saw? How are you going to use those examples, and what will you learn from that, and how will you apply that in retail industry? I just want to understand that. Yeah, Vinayak, you have the mic. Go ahead. Your voice is not audible, Vinayak. You have to just hold the mic steady. Don't keep moving the mic. Hold it steady and then speak. Yeah.
It is audible, sir.
Yeah.
Awareness, sir. In awareness, nothing but we will create a product and launch like YouTube. YouTube is one of the platform. And
YouTube. Okay.
YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, these are the platform to awareness of the product to the customers.
Okay.
And how AI will work means who wants that product information in YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, the AI will send that message. This much of percentage you have. This much of percentage you have that product when you buy. Like that, we will send the information.
Your voice is not clear, Vinayak. Your audio is not very clear. It's not, I'm not able to understand everything.
Now it is audible, sir.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah. Give me just one example. In awareness, how are you going to use artificial intelligence or ChatGPT for enhancing the product solution?
Sir, whenever we launch the product,
okay,
how customer know the product?
Correct.
We will have a different platform like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Yes.
With the help of this platform, we will give the information about all the information of the product to the customers.
Okay.
Who watch that watch the product in the YouTube or Facebook or anything platform, the AI will send the message of the product information, which place we are, which will find out which place and which store you can buy that product, and this much of percentage when you buy first time. Like that, it will send the message who was that.
So that, where are you using artificial intelligence in this? Where are you using ChatGPT in this? This is the general message. You will do a general marketing. Everybody does this. How is it very specific? How are you using artificial intelligence in your marketing?
Easily analyzing who are watching this product, and it will send the message.
Okay, give me an example. Take your example and give me an example.
Like an example for agricultural products.
Mm-hmm.
Number of farmers are seeing that product in YouTube or anything platform. The AI will analyze who are watching this product, it will send the message to that product, to that farmer. First time you are buying this, you will get this much of percentage of added.
Okay. I did not understand. Did you understand, Chandrakant?
Not yet, sir. Like once we go ahead with the client in pitching the product, we know he is aware of. Then we pitch him for the product by offering him some discount. This is what he is telling, sir.
Okay. Is that what you're saying, Vinayak? Yes. So where is AI in this? Where have you used artificial intelligence? Where have you used ChatGPT? This everybody does that, no? Already they are doing it. What is so special about it? How can you use ChatGPT to in the awareness stage of a retail product? So you have to think. You already gave all these presentations just now. I think 4 or 5 of you presented on the screen. You all have all the answers already. You have to look back in your presentations in the other industries, however you have used that technology, the same technology you have to use here. So okay, so Vinayak, you gave me the example of healthcare representative, right? You said the healthcare industry, where you said if someone types, so the patients can be screened based on their category and the kind of problem symptoms they're having. They can be categorized and they can be put into different groups, and then they can be given those personalized recommendation of doctors, right? You gave that example, right? So similarly, so that means if someone is going for, they want to go for an appointment, first of all, they will go to which branch of the hospital, then which hospital, which time zone, when do you want the appointment, morning, evening, or which day, and then what are the symptoms, do you have this symptom, that symptom. Based on that, they will say these are the doctors available. Then the fees of the doctor will be available, mentioned there, and based on that you can then select the doctor. So you can use the chatbot or whatever system is providing that information, can use artificial intelligence to fine tune all that and provide this information to the patient to register, right, for admission or for inquiry and things like that. So similarly, in the retail industry, the marketing people can be equipped with information so that if the customer is seeking a specific type of a product, let's say the customer is wanting, okay, what do you want? I want retail means clothing. Example, in the clothing space, you could want anything. You can want a shirt, you can want a trouser, ladies can want some other dress materials, whatever, different things, right? You may want some accessories if they are selling that also. So first of all, they'll ask you what you want, and based on all those answers that you provide, they will categorize you into a certain, and then they will provide a personalized response to you. So these are the available shirts which you might like, let's say, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the sales representatives who are available in the store can be provided more information about the product. And if the customer then says, okay, is this shirt cotton? Is this shirt synthetic material? Is this iron crease proof? And so many varieties of shirts are there. So all these questions, if the sales representative does not have answers to these questions, a ChatGPT kind of a solution can provide these prepared answers for these things, because these are general questions, right? And the representatives can have that information handy, and then they can use it to answer to that person. Or if they have an automated system, you can actually check it out yourself. So can they use or not in the awareness stage?
Yes, sir.
In the marketing stage, you can use it, right? So like that, I want you to, so now let us go to the other team. So like this, there are more examples. I want you to think like this for each of the, you go back to your own presentation, Vinayak, your own presentation, and each of that thing that you have used for healthcare, see how it is relevant for retail industry. Can you use something from there for the retail industry? I want you to see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that the solution, the technology can be the same, but the application can be across industries. It could be the same thing, same concept, but it is applied across different industries, right? I want you to appreciate that through this exercise. This exercise is just an example for you to do. It could be retail. I could have given you some other industry also. But the point is for you to see the bigger picture. All right. What about the other team? Can I look at the other team? Vaishali Computers. Can I have a look at Vaishali Computers? How are you approaching this? Can someone speak from that industry?
Just 2 minutes, sir.
I'm sorry?
Just 2 minutes, sir. We are doing PPT.
No, I don't want your PPT now. I don't want the PPT now. I want you to explain to me. Okay, now awareness. Can you explain some other example? I just gave one example. Can you explain some other example? How are you using all these presentations to create these solutions? So this product. Can someone explain? I think you spoke about what? ChatGPT. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, that trend forecasting.
What forecasting? What forecasting?
Like we have taken about class retail, sir. Trend forecasting.
Okay.
Wait, sir.
So with trend forecasting, what will you do?
We know about future trends, sir. What can we do? What is the future trends?
So in which, where will you use this? In which stage of the customer journey will you use this solution? Are you going to use this? Are you using this in marketing, or are you using during consideration, or when they're purchasing? At what stage will you use? So when you know some trends, okay, so you are saying trends of purchase, retail purchase. So when do you usually purchase clothes? Most of the people, when do they usually purchase clothes?
At festivals times.
So different people will purchase according to their different festivals, right? So you will know that this region will purchase during this festival, this region will purchase during this festival, and like that there will be different trends across South India, North India, maybe different parts and different other places, right? So that is there. So what will you do with the trends? Based on the trends, then you will be able to create campaigns. Okay, during this season, I need to create this marketing campaign. If I give this kind of a marketing campaign, I will be able to sell more of these clothes. And maybe the trend will also be, okay, this festival season, these colors will be better sold. This festival, these colors are, maybe, I don't know, I'm just saying based on the trends, they can analyze all that. And based on that analysis, the responses to that, you can create your campaign. It will help you create your marketing campaign, right? Your promotion campaign. So supposing it is not festival season and you're heavily, let us say you have a budget of some thousands of rupees. If you spend a lot of that money without seeing the trend and you spend it during the off season, and when there is a peak season when people buy it and you don't have money to spend on advertising, then you are not using your money properly, right? Yes or no? Yeah. So these are things that you can analyze and assess, and this can help you plan your things better. Okay, so I don't see you all have complete. I see that you've not completed your assignment. So like this, what I want you to do is think about this journey, customer journey, and look at the presentation. If you have done a presentation, go back to your own presentation, see what are all the things that you have mentioned and point out those very things for the retail industry. See how you can map those specific tools or technologies or ideas that you have explained in your presentation. Can you use that in this retail example? Right? So this is the assignment till we meet next time. Do this exercise and we will then have the presentation. Okay, as a group you can do it if you can get together, or as individuals, and you have to get together. Okay, and you have to put it together. Whatever you have presented, use those concepts only, and if you have learned from others and if you understood, you can see those also and apply that. And I want to see the application of that in the retail industry. Okay, retail example. All right. After that, we will see, once you find out those solutions, how do we prioritize those solutions? If required, we will get into that space. But first, let us do that exercise. Application of these new technologies in the retail industry. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Understood? All right. Is that understood? Everybody understood this?
Yes.
Okay. Chandrakant, you were saying something. Can you give me any other example how you are approaching this along with your team? KTC Hubli.
Like launching a new luxury product in the market, sir. So it's a altogether new luxury item in the market.
Okay.
And we need to produce ads and send ads to the customer. So
okay.
who are
okay, so ads is again in the that's okay. That example you can put it for this. I want any other example. Have you seen any other? Have you thought of any other examples in the consideration phase, or how you're going to use it in purchase phase? Any technology application, ChatGPT, in the entire journey that I explained to you, in that journey, or in loyalty space or advocacy space, service phase? Where else can you use AI?
In advocacy phase.
Which phase?
Advocacy, last stage, advocacy.
Okay.
AI and ChatGPT will be in touch with the customers by looking at his interaction of the client with the product. By looking at the photos he's launching on the Facebook and all those social media sites. Also, sometimes it will be directly interacting with the customer and getting the feedback. Based on the feedbacks generated from the Facebook and ChatGPT's interaction with the client, we need to assess whether the client is happy with the product experience or not. If he is not happy, we need to improve the product experience. And if he is happy, in that case, we should prompt him to suggest the same product to his other friends, relatives, and colleagues.
Okay. Okay, good thinking, good line of thought. Work on this more, and make it a little more concrete in terms of that. It's the right way of thinking, but I want you to build this up and work with your team. And the next time we will discuss all of these in the retail example. Okay, the application of ChatGPT in the retail space. All right. All right, so I think we've neared the end of time for today. So is there any questions? Anyone has any questions for me today? Any questions? Is this assignment clear? Today there were very less students right from the beginning for some reason. I think exams or whatever the reason may be. Next time when we meet, I want, I think the same number of students who had participated earlier, the previous sessions, and you can also update them on the assignment, and then they can also work on it, and then we can discuss this and other topics in the next session, the future topics. Okay. Any questions for me? All right. If there aren't any questions for me, we'll end it for today. I'll hand it over to the organizing team, Kionix team. Kionix team, I handing over to you for any last announcements or anything like that.
Okay, thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.